Hey, it worked, but now I'm not sure if my mic's working because I've just remembered I didn't put my mic on. Let me just check. Oh, yes, it needs to go on. That one. Can you hear me? Is it now working? Mic is working. We hear you. Oh, that's good. And the little intro worked. Well, I'm assuming it worked. I wasn't looking at my iPad because I was too panicky about. I had to unplug everything today because I've worked from home and take my mic away. So I was like, I plugged the mic in but didn't set it onto. The mic sounds weird now. Oh, does it? Does it sound weird? Should I unplug it and just go back to not having the microphone? It was deep sound at first. Now it sounds like you're far away. Let me try and speaker is default. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna do the. Oh, Becca says sounds fine to me. Sounds a little bit tinny. Sounds fine just here. Right, what we're gonna do, we're gonna play a little game. We'll do better or worse, okay? So this is the microphone at the moment. So I'm going to switch it to internal mic, which is just my laptop. So this is without the mic. Is that better or worse? Everybody's saying I sounded perfect now. Like when you're at the eye doctor. Exactly, Jen. I'm waiting for a better or worse. Worse. Sounds like a tunnel. Better, worse, better, worse. I don't know what to do. That didn't help. I'm going to put the mic back on and we'll just go with it. Okay. Test, test, test. Oh, I could put echo cancellation on. Stereo audio. Oh, do I want that? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm pretending to be all technical just because I've got my intro to work. It will depend on everybody's system. Yeah, that's true, Jamie. You can't win. It's a draw. Well, I'm going to stick with this and hopefully it's okay because I've had this on all week, this mic that I'm using now. Quiet now, says Jackie. Well, you'll have to turn your volume up, Jackie. Seems to fit the times of time-warped alternative reality. I'm just glad you're here, Simon, says Roz. It sounds okay either way. The laptop mic is a little higher volume. All good. It shouldn't be, should it? You would have thought that having a proper microphone would make it better, but clearly not. Can you do today's QuaranStream through the medium of expressive dance? We wouldn't mind. We wouldn't need some. We wouldn't need sound then. Expressive dance. So Julia says, fine now, everyone can adjust their sound. Yeah. If I hadn't said anything and I've just been on this mic, I want to kind of hear myself. So let me just see what it sounds like. Yeah. If I hadn't said anything and I've just been on this mic, I want to kind of hear myself. So let me just, that sounds fine, doesn't it? Yeah, I can live with that. We are used to the old sound quality. The new one will be odd at first. Yeah, but it's been here all week. When did I get it? Last Friday. And then I started using it from Monday. So, Becca, sounds good in Oxfordshire. Notice I said Oxfordshire and not Oxfordshire. Now, what do you say? You say Shire, don't you? There's 3 ways of saying it, isn't there? There's Oxfordshire, Oxfordshire, or Oxfordshire. And you say Oxfordshire. Adam's starred my name. Simon. Let's see if you put something else further up. Oh, yeah. Simon, the tarot mime. Yeah. Marceau's got nothing on me. Anyway, it's Friday. How are we all doing? Like Worcestershire. Yeah, Worcestershire. Worcestershire sauce. Love a bit of Worcestershire sauce. How is everybody doing anyway? How are we all? We're at the end of the week. It is Friday. Have we all got that Friday feeling? My goddess doesn't look like she's lit up very well, does it? I think the light's dropped inside a little bit further down. I took the day off. Wow. Feeling pretty good today, is Deanne. I can't say Worcestershire to save my life. I just call it the W sauce. Worcestershire. Just popping in to say hello on my way to lunch with the bestie. Hope everyone is doing well. That's a nice Friday, Zane. And I'll see you tomorrow. We'll just be finishing this time tomorrow. Glad the work week is done. Oh, Tommy, today has been... I've been working from home, but it's been really challenging today. You know, you just have those days where it's really challenging. And I slept so well last night. So somebody had put in the chat before I came on, how am I since the jab? And I was absolutely fine, but I got to partway through yesterday afternoon, I think I said last night, and started to feel really tired. And that just, you know, carried on depleting. I had a bit of a second wind during the QuaranStream, as I always do with you lovely lot. But then I decided to go to bed about 9:15. I listened to Chris's live in bed. And then next thing I know, it was 5:30 and I slept solidly. So that was good. And I felt a little bit sort of lethargic today, but other than that, I'm absolutely fine. So all good there. Made it through another week. Yeah. And, you know, this Friday, you can't talk me into drinking any wine or anything because there's nothing in the house at all. So I've got my coffee with almond milk. What's everybody else got? I noticed Richard poured himself a cup of wine. He said, I'm just pouring myself a cup of wine. Can't fault him. Better hard week. Bestie broke up with her lover daughter and moved. Better hard week. Bestie broke up with her lover daughter, moved house. Wow, so you've had a lot going on. David's had a really tough week, ready for the weekend. Susan says, all my days seem the same because of lockdown. Yeah, too right. Nope, says Becca. Nope. What you noping at, Becca? Nope. Patrice might not be able to stay long. It's a study day for me, taking Kelly Fitzgerald and Norman class. Don't you do them on Saturdays? I thought she did them on Saturdays. And then Becca's just put LOL. I don't know what she's saying. Nope, and then LOL. Gala loves Fridays. I'm recovering from surgery, so every day is kind of the same to me, but Fridays always feel good. Yeah. Hi, Ness. Oh, wow. It's deep freeze here in the Midwest. Next few days, we will be lucky to hit 15 degrees. Staying indoors. Don't blame you. And Elaine's here. Hello. Hello. Lovely to see you all. It's a bit cold one here today. I hope you've all had a good day. I've not been outside at all yet today. So I work from home. But do you remember me telling you about the electricians that came 3 weeks ago? And one was asking about the tarot decks and everything. Well, they came back today because it failed the electric test. So I've had to have some new plug points and things like that, which they did. But he was like, how's your YouTube going? clearly not been when I gave him a hello, but I was like, yeah, it's going good. Rob said, hi, Rob. It will be exciting this weekend. There would be a snowstorm and sleet was told on the news. We'll wait and see. I think we got, well, certainly at the beginning of this week, it said it was going to snow over the weekend, whether it still is, because it changes daily. Marshmallow tea, feeling rough. Sounds nice, though. Vax can always make you feel a bit crap. Yeah, it can, Becca. But I think I've got away with it quite lightly compared to some others. So, which I'm pleased about. I don't do well with being ill. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Simon and everyone. Nice to see you. How are you doing? How far behind am I now in the chat? Naomi's here. Hello, Naomi. Simon, I'm doing her class as a playback of her previous class, so I watch on my own schedule. Oh, I didn't realise you could do that. So you can watch whenever you want to watch. That's good. I take it you just get like a code to the video and stuff. So, oh, that's good, Patrice. Happy Friday, Simon. Hello, June. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. We're doing fine. How are you doing? Are you okay? Enjoyed seeing your video last weekend. It's actually the first day that's out of the 30s here. It feels almost balmy in the high 40s. Wow. And then Elaine says, that seems to be the forecast for us all. The last time they forecast snow coming from the direction of Siberia, we were snowed in for 2 weeks. Wow. You must get it bad where you are. Oh, Elaine's got the Marshmallow Marseille on the way to me. The marshmallow tea reminded me. Yeah, I love the Marshmallow Marseille. I've got both from Wandering Oracle. Marshmallow Marseille and then the Serene, Tarot Serene. But out the two, I prefer the Marshmallow Marseille. I think it is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Try not to get shadows on it. Yeah, really nice little deck. Lovely colours. Nice size as well. You know, nice palm size. These are the backs, which are really lovely. It's really hard to do it without casting shadows. I think I got the light up too high. That's better. So there's the backs, and I edged mine in metallic silver, so it just complemented them really nicely. Yummy. 100%. Most of my Ohana is on the Big Island. Wow. Marshmallows and hot chocolate, anyone? Well, if you're offering, Roz, why not? They are lush. Do you have it, Becca? I can't remember if you have it or not. And the Serene has a more pearlescent kind of box to it, but it's very similar backs. I didn't edge this one, but the colours are more kind of greeny and pinks, and then obviously, you know, Tarot Serene. It's about watery mermaids, merlords, etc. But I love the marshmallow. I like them both. I'm so pleased to have both, but if I had to choose, it would be marshmallow. But luckily I don't. I do. Al Brandt gifted it to me. Oh, Brandt gifted it to you. Lovely. I have s'mores. I remember s'mores ingredients in my pantry. Come on over. Random question time from our L. What do you guys do with the happy squirrel cards that you get in your deck? I got it in a reading before, but I have no idea what to do with it. Well, it's funny you should say that. It's almost like I knew you was going to bring that up, because you're not going to find it now. I've had in my Midori for years. I've always carried my Happy Squirrel card from the oh my gosh, the name of the deck's gone right out of my head. The Wooden Tarot. Is it called the Wooden Tarot? So my Happy Squirrel always lives in my little Midori behind my business cards. So some people journal with them, use them for art, use them as bookmarks, have them as a reading, keep them in the deck and read with them. But I just carry mine as like a little, I don't know, just something to make me smile when I open my journals and things. Yes, Wooden Tarot. Didn't sound right when I said it. S'mores sounds really good right now. Oh, that's just the deck I was talking about. Yep, it's the Wooden Tarot. Have you just got the Wooden Tarot then, or have you just done a reading with it? Oh, I have no idea what to do with it either. It all stems from The Simpsons, doesn't it? From that episode where Lisa goes into the tent and has her fortune told, and the Happy Squirrel comes up. But the Happy Squirrel appears in quite a few decks now. It's like in Tower of Musterberg, there's the Cyrene card, isn't there? As an extra card. Elaine don't read with extra cards mostly. Mullamere's making things in the toaster oven. Is that your s'mores? And I was glad she's not the only one. Depends on the deck, says Tammy Pie. I have the old touchstone and I just put it up like the squirrel is watching while I use the cards. Yeah, even in Tarot in a Tin, there's a Happy Squirrel in here. And I used it as like, you know, for casting, I used the Happy Squirrel as a point. So I lay the Happy Squirrel down on the desk and then I cast and I look at what appears around the Happy Squirrel. So it's a bit of a significator. Here's my Happy Squirrel. Look. So yeah, I lay the Happy Squirrel down. So let's see. I've got my Happy Squirrel down. Oh, absolutely touching it and nothing else anywhere near it is the tower. I'm gonna have a tower moment. Yeah, so there's lots of things you can do with your little extra bits. That's a good idea, Simon. I was going to put mine onto a key ring, but I like the idea now of using it as a significator. Yeah, it's just how whenever I've used my little charms, that's exactly how I've worked with them, by laying the squirrel down on the table. Tarot charms. I didn't know about it. You didn't know about these, Betsy? Yeah, you can get these on Etsy by Green Woman Crafts. You see that? Green Woman Crafts. Tarot in a Tin. The only thing, and I like how June did it, but I would mess it up. Not June, sorry. Elaine did it, but I would mess it up. Is you do get this die so that you can, obviously, you know, if you're doing readings or you want to work with minors and things like that, because you get, for instance, let's see it here, you'll get a pentacle and then you can use the die to, so that's telling me I pulled the Five of Pentacles. So not only am I having a Tower moment, I'm also going to be having a Five of Pentacles moment. But they're really hard to see the numbers. You can just see them there, look, if the light catches them. And what Elaine did, she kind of coloured them in. But I know if I tried that, it would be disastrous. So I just kind of catch it under the light and have a look. The charms are great, also for jewellery and deck bag adornments. Yeah. It's getting worse. What's getting worse? What's getting worse? Does anyone know where I can get This Might Hurt deck in the UK? I got mine from Little Red Tarot. Have you tried Little Red Tarot or the out of stock, Richard? I got both versions. There were 3 versions, but I got the first one, which was the black edged metallic, and then the pearlescent edged. Someone mentioned chocolate orange coffee. Where do I find that delicious combo? Yeah. Who is it that keep mentioning? Is it Jamie? Jamie, is it you that's mentioned chocolate orange coffee? Use a thin tip Sharpie. It works well. I don't. You could use wax to fill in all the grooves of the die. Yeah, but that's being really creative, and I'm not. Longman Tarot. Ooze. 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 What are you doing to me, Richard? Yes, it's Jamie. Bones Coffee Company. I thought it was Jamie, was it? It always sounds lovely. Oh, so Susan says Little Red Tarot's getting them soon. Oh, ooze, out of stock. Oh, no, he said out of stock. I get it now. Yeah. I was thinking, we don't mean out of print, OOP. It's amazing. Oh, I'll have to try some. But not as flavoured beans. Fit yourself a drink with those flavours. I like the barbecue flavoured beans. Oh, you're on about coffee beans, aren't you? Oh, I'm just going to give up. You're getting as bad as me, Simon. I know. In my defence, it's been a tough week. It's been a long week, and we're at Friday. And this is where things tend to go a little bit messy. Okay, shall we have quote of the day? Let's have quote of the day. I've got an itchy nose as well. Random question time first. From Kristen this time. Anyone know where I can find those porcelain-looking rune discs? Porcelain-looking rune discs. I've got some hematite runes, some crystal runes. I've got the lovely runes that Hen sent me, that Neris sent me, that Jamie sent me, made out of antler. I'm spoiled for runes. But I've not seen them porcelain. That would worry me with casting porcelain runes, with how heavy-handed I am. Little Red are taking a sabbatical for 7 weeks. Oh, that's right, they are, aren't they? When does that end? That feels like we're already a good chunk into those 7 weeks. Hi, Fierce and Pretty. I think Mendy has them. I'm not sure what Mendy has. Oh, the porcelain runes. Anyway, let's have our quote of the week. So we'll quote of the day, quote of the week. And let's see if you can guess this one. This is a very, very well-known quote. And the quote is, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. It's an English proverb. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. There's always like a real pregnant pause at this bit. 8 of Pentacles, says Richard. 7 of Pentacles. Jennifer Rebecca's edging her back, are just saying pentacle. 7 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles. What if I tell you it's not a pentacle suit? 4 of Cups, says Elaine. The sitting down guy. Do you mean 9 of Cups, the sitting down guy? It's not, though, if it is. 8 of Pence, 10 of Wands. 6 of Pence, one of Wands, 4 of Cups, the Devil twice, 10 of Wands, 10 of Wands, 10 of Wands, 8 of Wands. None of you are even close. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Emperor, 9 of Wands, 8 of Pentacles, not 110. It's definitely a minor, but nobody has even said the suit yet, I don't think. You sound like an auctioneer. I feel like an auctioneer. 8 of Pence, Hermit, High Priestess, 4 of Cups, 10 of Wands. I think this is going to be one of them where nobody gets it. So I'm just going to have to tell you, I think, because nobody's even said the suit, let alone close. Kristen Louise, 2 of Swords. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. 7 of Swords. Yes, woman who sees. Woman who sees. It is the 4 of Swords. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. We can't always be driven, goal setting, going after targets, trying to be the best in that rat race, trying to perform, and just sooner or later we will burn out. And if we overexert ourselves, then we have no time left for the other things that we enjoy doing, the leisure activities, our hobbies, or walks and being outdoors with nature. So what we have to do is we have to rest up, we have to recoup, but find that balance between not being in that rat race, target driven all the while, and make sure that we don't end up burning out and that we can really enjoy having time for our leisure pursuits and our interests and things like that. So the quote is, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So remember, if we overexert ourselves, we won't be able to fully enjoy things like our leisure time and other elements that life brings us joy to. So, good advice. Thank you, Becca. That was probably the hardest one yet. Hardest one yet for people to get. Oh, Jen got that card today. Was that your card of the day? What was mine? Mine was a court. Yeah, Knight of Cups was my card for today. I was like, 4 of Swords? And then Jen, 4 of Swords? Yes, 4 of Swords. This card sums up my day. Taking time to rest is just as important as keeping up with your chores. Absolutely. Absolutely. But so many of us, how many of us started tonight's chat by saying things like, so glad it's Friday. It's been a really tough week, and it has. But for me, it's Monday to Friday, even though I get my lovely time each day with you, but it's very work focused. And, it's important that we find that balance so that we can, enjoy the other things. Because if we don't play and we're just working, then we will eventually burn ourselves out. I should have got that one, as it's totally me for the last year, says Butterfly. All right. The dongs. That means it's time for Deck of the Day. Now, Deck of the Day today is, it's a deck that everybody knows, or perhaps not, because it's been rebranded, but everybody knows it. And I think it's one of those most understated decks. And the deck is, oh, I've took it off. the deck is the Shaman Caselli Tarot. Now, this originally started its life as the Beginner's Guide to Tarot, and it was a big set, and you got a great big book and fold outs and all that sort of stuff. Tarot Times tomorrow. Yes, we need to have our conference, don't we? Our conflab, I should say. So yeah, it started out with this big set, and the artwork is actually really, really nice. And there was a few complaints at the time that it was quite expensive, and you had to buy all this paraphernalia, where some people just wanted the cards. And then in recent years, hi SL Wyman, which is Sarah, right? If my memory serves me right. You've been able to buy it as a separate deck, which is great, and that's when I got it. But I really like it. So the artist is Giovanni Caselli. Juliet Sharman Burke wrote the book. Is that right? Or did Juliet Sharman Burke do the art? I wonder if it tells you in the little book. But what I liked is a lot of the symbology is stripped back. So this deck is based on RWS, but it is heavily influenced by Visconti Sforza and to a degree some Marseille. And they totally, and I remember reading about it, kind of didn't buy into the subjective symbolism of Arthur Edward Waite, particularly things like, let's see, like the wheel, with having Herman Anubis and sphinxes and things like that. So it has a more kind of simplistic wheel. Oh, Simon, I just got this deck from Etsy as a standalone deck. Yeah. Text and illustrations. It's from the Beginner's Guide to Tarot, published in 2001. So it's 20 years old. But I can't work out, whether it's a collaboration. And I think Juliet Sharman Burke wrote the book and Caselli did the art. I never used this deck. It would be nice to look at it again. Have you got it then, Elaine? Well, obviously, if you said you never use it. I never looked at this deck. It's been around. And this is what I was saying about how it is so well known. People know of it, but I think it is quite... the artwork is simple, but I think it's quite stunning. I think it's really beautiful. And it does get kind of... dropped one of the cards now. It does get a little bit overlooked because people are like, oh, it's just a beginner's deck. And I think it's so much more than that, really. So, nice 2-part box. And I don't think this was too expensive. And on the back it says, this deck has been specifically created for the first-time tarot user. Juliet Sharman Burke is an experienced reader and teacher, and Giovanni Caselli is an international renowned artist. So that it is as I thought. Their childhood... Why have I read the word childhood? Their collaboration has produced a deck with traditional symbolism of extraordinary clarity for both major and minor arcana cards. This is a deck to use as you begin your journey of discovery through tarot. And that's quite... And it's quite something, because a lot of tarot decks use the strap line, don't they? Of a great deck for beginners and what's the word I'm looking for, where someone's really proficient at reading tarot. But like beginners and experienced tarot readers, it kind of tries to cover that whole sort of spectrum, so it's appealing to everybody. But this actually sets itself out to be a beginner's deck. I quite like the backs. They're this beautiful sort of cerise colour. You do get the copyright, but because they want it to be reversible, it's up in the, both corners. Remember, it goes opposite on here. But it's a nice colour. Cards are the usual size. Adept, seasoned reader. That's something that they use, Tammy Pie. or just experienced, don't they? They'll say this is for beginners or experienced readers, you know. Exactly the same size as a standard kind of US Games size. This isn't US Games. This is a publisher called Connections Book Publishing, which is part of Edison Books Limited. So it's quite a nice thick deck. Cardstock is really nice. It is glossy, but not super thick gloss, but there is a gloss to it. Seasoned reader, yeah. So here we have our Fool. And you see that the artwork is really nice. It's really beautiful. The colours in this deck are really lovely. And for people who often say, I just can't connect with the RWS, I just don't like the artwork. I get it. I do like it. But, you know, it's the same as me saying I don't like Lady Frida Harris's artwork. Whereas I could get another Toth type deck with different artwork and I can work with it. So I get it. You do just get a standard typeface for the font. But yeah, really nice. Lots of pastel colours as well. Bye, Monomia. People are on about oregano and garlic. So here, you know, we've got the pomegranates and things like that. We've got the black and white pillars. We've got the 2 crescent moons. I think the Empress is a beautiful card. Look at that. The meadow behind her with the waterfall through the rocks and the trees. It's really, really pretty. I'm trying to get it so there isn't too much of a glow. I think I'm biased to Lady Frida as we share the same surname. Oh, Alex is here. Hi, Alex. Then we have the Emperor. The Hierophant is interesting. He doesn't have any supplicants. He's studying. He's got his hands in the as above kind of motion. Lovers. See, this is kind of more Marseille inspired now. And they did say they heavily follow the RWS, but it is inspired by Visconti Sforza and Marseille influences. Chariot I like that we're a distance away from it, but you rarely see those horses pulling in 2 opposite directions. But it's incredible. You've got all the dirt being kicked up underneath them. You really get a sense of movement and struggle. Justice. I just love the Thoth, but I do understand why peeps do not, sort of. And it's a good job people do, you know. Strength is beautiful. And again here, we've got the only thing, you know, it is that sort of force. She is pushing and pulling on the jaw. He's got his paw up, but that's the only thing. I prefer to see strength cards where there's that sort of that unity and that trust between the 2 of them rather than force. I think the Hermit is gorgeous. So this is what I was talking about the Wheel of Fortune. You know, it's removed a lot of weights, symbolism. Poor lion, I know. Hangman. Love the Death card. I've always loved this Death card. Look at that. How huge that horse is as well. There's no flag, no symbol there. He's got his sickle, and he's got the hourglass. You know, we're here for a limited time, and when your time's up. But I love that it's just this skeleton on top of the horse. I love that death card. Me too. I see the writing on the screen. I wonder if it's what you're used to looking at. I never flick through original Toth deck, and I just don't like it. I'm okay with modern versions though. Yeah. Beautiful Temperance card. Really gorgeous. Look at this for the devil as well. How to catch it. I don't want to turn the light off because it will be too dark. You still get the glow anyway from the computer screen. So, Tower. Hey all, been incognito, been going through a lot. Well, it's nice to see you, Aaron. Welcome. Beautiful star card. The moon. We don't. Oh, we do. The crayfish. I've got my fingernail over it. Just there, look. In the bottom corner. The baby is covered up. Judgment. And the world. It's interesting in the Tower card that they're falling into water. I'm only just getting to know this deck, but I'm liking it so far. It's slippery and glossy. If you're on about this one, there is a gloss to it, but I don't find it slippery. I think it kind of works really nice. Okay, we'll go a little bit faster through the minors. So we've got our cups. 2. 3. There's our usual type of 4, although coming from the opposite direction. And they seem to have done that a lot. You know, it's like a mirror image of in quite a few of the cards. Oh, I've got such an itchy nose. I do apologise. I don't know what's happening. He's like a little, I don't know, like a little elf. Love it. Love this 7. We don't have the shadowy kind of figure. Or somebody here who's exhausted by the choices on offer. So I'm going to sit this one out. I like this version here of the 8, just climbing that rocky terrain. 9 of Cups. This is who somebody referred to as the guy sitting down. But actually there's somebody here with like a whole kind of banquet in front of them. But again, it's that sort of abundance, isn't it? And being grateful for all your many blessings. The 10 is really nice. Page does have the little fish in the cup. Now I feel like breaking out the deck and working with it. I only just got it a couple of weeks ago and haven't used it yet. So many decks, so little time. Yeah. Queen. And the King. So I don't know if you noticed, but they have like a blue feel to them. So they are colour coordinating them. So for our wands, they're all kind of yellow colours, like a sunny, fiery type of yellow. These are very RWS, aren't they? Simon's given me appreciation for RWS decks. Oh, that's music to my ears. I love RWS, as you know. And that's just because they're so familiar to me. The images are just so familiar. It's like having an old friend that you can rely on. And then we have the 10. Our page. Knight. Was anybody not familiar with this deck? I mean, I kind of made the assumption at the beginning by saying, oh, everybody knows this deck, but invariably there's going to be people who don't. That's very true, Aaron. I haven't heard all the conversation or read all the conversation, but I agree that everything happens for a reason, but we don't always see it in the moment, do we? So anyway, when we look back, we have our swords. So it's new to Donna. Gemma's not seen it. And Fierce and Pretty's never seen the deck. Wow. The Two of Swords is stunning. It's one of my favourite Two of Swords. And they use this card for the cover of the box. And I can see why. Because it is really beautiful. I love the kind of lilac sky, the crescent moon, the birds flying. So much more detail. It's really lovely. Amazon for $16.95. It makes me happy when I have the deck that's being showcased. Phew. Yeah. Wow. Anne says, no, Simon, amazingly, I didn't know about this deck. Wow. The 3. 4, the card that we just done the quote from today. I love that perspective. 5 of Swords. Now, doesn't that feel, I don't know, it just seems more positive to me. I love the depiction of the 6. You get these choppy waters at the front. Sweet cards. 7. They're making off with those swords from that tent. 8. I love the palace behind her on the mountain there. 9 of Swords. Often referred to as the Nightmare card, and the 10 of Swords. And again, we get that dark night go into a lighter sky to a bright new day. Page. I think there'll be some info about the artist in the book. Or, you know, certainly look up Giovanni Caselli. He's done more than this deck. I know he has. I know his name. I can't think off the top of my head if someone wants to give it a Google, but he's worked on other decks. Queen. And the King. And then we have our pentacles, which are kind of greeny and some yellow, golden and green. very earthy colours. Our Ace. Two of Pentacles. 3, although he looks like he's having a quarrel with them there. What do you mean my work's not up to standard? 4. Sitting on top of all his worldly goods. I do like this depiction of the 5. It is different, but, you know, one is kind of sitting down like, I can't go on. And his friend there, you know, encouraging him. Oh, and look at the expression on his face. Is the gist of them quite cheerful? Yeah, yeah. Even what we'd probably consider the more hard-hitting cards have a lighter feel to them. But the artwork is really beautiful, isn't it? And as I said, often gets dismissed a little bit as, you know, and I think a lot of us, myself included, you know, as we get more proficient with the tarot, we kind of look at beginners decks, and obviously, you know, we don't always see ourselves as beginners. I've got a lot of beginners decks back there, but when I see kits, you know, that purport to be for beginners, my mind always thinks they're not going to be of really good quality, and I don't know why. I think maybe, you know, when I bought them from like the Works and things, and they've been really papery and classed as beginners decks, I think the quality is not really there, but it is with this deck. I'm asking about these cards because I'm wondering if the picture deck might be useful in learning the Marseille. I've got a Pam S, but don't use them, and they seem a bit violent. I'm not sure what you mean, Sorsha. A picture deck might be useful in learning Marseille. See, I wouldn't particularly use this deck to learn Marseille. For me, I would still use it to learn Rider-Waite-Smith, albeit some of the symbols aren't here. But for me, it feels very RWS cloney. Look how gorgeous. Now, the King of Pentacles is often criticised in the original Pixie artwork because it's so busy and you can't see a lot of the details. But here, that busyness is still there, but there is so much clarity and sharpness within the image. It's stunning. It's really beautiful. So that is the Shaman Caselli Tarot deck, which is available to buy on its own. Or I do believe you can still get the Beginner's Guide to Tarot, which is, you know, what the deck is used for. How about the Marshmallow he showed earlier? Yeah, that's a pretty good deck, actually. Wow, Mendy, I'm not that controlled. I want it, then I have to get it. I'm the same, Maharet. Giovanni Caselli is an anthropologist. He did the art for this deck. The New Mythic Tarot, that's it. And the Grail Tarot. Yeah, I've got the Grail Tarot as well. The deck I was thinking of, Jonathan, was the new, not the original, but the new Mythic Tarot, which of course got a lot of criticism because people were very faithful to the original Mythic Tarot. I did buy the new Mythic Tarot probably about a year ago because I wanted to do a comparison. But I do prefer the original Mythic Tarot. But yes, thank you. That's helped because, you know, you just think, I know he's done another deck. And of course, the Grail Tarot. So generally, people would say there is a difference in meanings. Yes, there is a difference in meanings, and you can buy books. I'm just looking at my bookshelf now. Probably most of them are out in the hall now. But Yoav Bendoff's book is quite good. And yeah, so Marseille as a system has been around a lot longer than the RWS. It kind of come out of the Sforza decks. And then the RWS was out of Golden Dawn. So they, wrongly, people say it's the first full scenic tarot deck. But of course, you've got like the, what is it called? I've got the deck up here, the Solar Busca, and a lot of Pixie's influence was from the Solar Busca. So it wasn't the first time that we got illustrations, scenes within the minors. So, yeah, I tend to, and you know, tarot scholars out there would scoff, but I tend to view Marseille more for me using numerology for the pips against the element. And as I said before, something like 4 of Cups, 4 being stability, Cups being emotions. It's talking about stabilizing our emotions, or, you know, that need to have some stability when it comes to our emotions and things like that. So that's kind of the starting point for me. And then depending on the question from the Quaran cards that are around it is where I then go from. That's my springboard. Even though I will still also in my mind see the RWS image for the 4 of Cups. So that does still influence anyway, because I learned that system first. I'm coming to Seattle next week, Jen. Maybe we can play. Okay, I just wanted to cheat. I'm learning TDM, not a problem. I just find interesting takes from Smith people. Yeah. You know, and there will be people who are die-hard Marseille readers, and they won't use that kind of system that I've talked about. And that's fine too. It's whatever works for the individual, isn't it? All right, so it's nearly past. This candle's not got much of a... It's a bit meh. Not really doing much or giving off much glow. Don't got much oomph. I'm glad Simon read that out. I almost missed it. You know how to reach me. Oh, about Tammy Pie coming. Oh, Aaron started with Marseille. See, technically I did too. I started with 1 JJ Swiss, but I was very young. I was 16 at the time. I've got 2 backs there. I do that every time, don't I? I started with a Marseille deck, but I used to just kind of read the majors because I didn't know what I was doing with the minors. And then it wasn't until years later that I got an RWS. And the rest, as they say, is history. Have you burned all your Christmas candles? This is one of them, Becca. I've still got a few left, but this is one of them. But you know, sometimes it's like the flame is drowned in, and perhaps I should pour away. That's it. I poured away a bit of the wax, and now we've got a proper flame. There we are. Yes, that's one of your votive candles that you got me in that set. More numerology. Yeah, that's how I did it. I'm looking at getting my first Marseille. Oh, I wonder what you'll get. Oops. That's why that's on my ad. I'm trying to shuffle and read comments. Fear of missing out on the chat. All right, a message to take us through the weekend. So just remember, everybody, tomorrow is catching up with, and I'm catching up with our Zane from Tarot Token Witchery, 4 p.m. UK time. And then I'll be back on Monday, of course, for No Fire Over Nottingham tonight then. That was that candle, or that candle. I can still see it. The parallels in our YouTube journeys are amazing. I also started with one JJ Swiss and don't know how to read the pips and never looked back after I found RWS. Yeah. I don't know what was £26 on eBay, but that's a good price. Oh, the Mythic. Okay, message for the next 24 hours. Oh, we have the Hermit's Lantern here, and we have Hope, the Hope. Yeah, every time I hear the word hope, I think of my favourite quote from my favourite film, which is Shawshank Redemption. And it's, fear will hold you prisoner, hope will set you free. And we have to have hope, don't we? And just like the light that's in the lantern, it dispels the darkness. It shows us a way forward. And that's a big part of having hope, hope for a better future. When we think about hope, for me, when I think about hope, hope is actually, you know, wanting something to improve, something to be better for us, whether that's, you know, hope about our health or hope about where we're going to go in life or a career or things like that. We all have our hopes, and hopes often gets associated with dreams as well, doesn't it? You know, hopes and dreams. But when we focus our everything on hope, it's a really good thing, because what it does, it puts us in that rhythm and it takes us to that place. It's the beginning steps of making something happen that we're hoping for. Everything starts with a thought. Anything around us started with a thought. But when you have hope and you go focused on achieving that, you can bring it into fruition. But the first steps is that it's taking us towards that goal by having hope in the first place. So it's a real powerful emotion to have and to harness. All right, guys. Thank you for being here and finishing off my week with me. It's always an absolute pleasure to spend time with you all. Hopefully, if you can make it, I'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. for catching up with Zane. And yeah, just have a lovely weekend. Look after yourselves. Stay safe. And until next time, go in peace. Now I've got to try and do this. This is like my outro now, if it works. Namaste and blessed be.